families, welcome to episode 25. So today I am showing you guys how to make your own cat and dog treats, and I have some over here. So today the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make these pup pops, and then I'm going to show you how to make some homemade cat treats. Alright, let's get started. So what you're going to need is some type of ice cube tray or any small molds, some type of blender. Any blender will work. And then the only ingredients you're going to need for the dog treats are old banana, some peanut butter, and some yogurt. And make sure that it's unsweetened yogurt, because too much sugar isn't good for your animals. And I'm using coconut. Coconut is very good for animals' skin. Alright, so what you're going to need is about 12 ounces, which is a cup and a half of yogurt. And here I'm adding all this yogurt, and then I'm going to scrape out the last bit of it. Okay. So that was about 12 ounces. And then you can use an old banana. This one was in the fridge, so it's already cold and mushy. So instead of everybody making banana bread, you could make some treats for your dogs. Okay. Now the last thing that we're going to do is add some peanut butter. So we need 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. So here's 1 tablespoon. We're going to take 4. I'm using another spoon because peanut butter is very sticky. So that's 1. Two. 3, and then 1 more. And these will be great treats for your dogs. They're banana, peanut butter, and yogurt flavor, and dogs love all 3 of those ingredients. So the next thing you're gonna do is blend this. Alright, so I'm gonna push everything to the bottom of my blender. Alright, I'm just gonna mix it one time and we can see what it looks like. And I'm gonna, ooh, that's nice and blended. I'm just gonna scrape the peanut butter off the sides and blend it one more time so it's super consistent. There we go. I got most of the peanut butter off the sides. Blend it one more time, and then we put it in our mold. Alright. Alright, that should be good. Alright. So next we are going to put it in our mold and freeze them. There we go. I'm just going one by one. And if you have a smaller dog, you could maybe fill them up a little bit less. Because for a small dog like a Chihuahua, these would be pretty big. So I'm going to make some smaller ones for our small dogs too. And if you have any other treats at home, you could incorporate them into your pup pops, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Just filling in the last of these. we go. Perfect. Okay, so like I said, if you do have any treats like this at home, you could stick them in here to make your little popsicle stick, and it's edible for your dog. So the treat will freeze around these, and I'm going to give these ones to our big dogs. And then I'm going to make some mini ones for our small dogs. Oh, there we go. I'm going to stick 2 in some of these. Oops. Here we go. Boop. Boop. And I'll leave 2 plain. All right. So all you need to do is stick these in your freezer, and they'll be frozen in 2 hours and ready for your dog to eat. Okay. Thanks. All right. All right. So this is what your Pup Pop will look like once it's all frozen, and you can store them in a freezer bag. This is what it looks like, and I have some here that's cut up for our small dogs. Alright, so next I'm going to show you guys how to make some cat treats. Alright, so for your cat treats, it's just 2 ingredients. All you need is some tuna in oil and 1 egg. And that's it. Alright, so I have my can opener here, and I'm going to open up my can of tuna. Let me get it to work. There we go. Alright, so all I'm going to do is place the tuna and the oil in my blender. Get everything out. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing is to separate our egg from the yolk. And I'm going to use a big bowl to do this. So I'm going to put the egg white in the big bowl and keep the yolk in the shell. So how to do that is you crack your egg and you separate it in half and keep the yolk in one shell and let the egg white drip out. Alright, and that's about it. That's all the egg white. And I'm going to put that in the can of tuna. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is a blender, or sorry, not a blender, an electric beater. So you can use this one, which is the whisk, or if you have the 2 double beaters, that's fine too. The whisk is better though if you have it. So what I'm going to do, we only have a little bit of egg white in here, so I'm tilting the bowl to the side to make sure we get everything, and it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes for this to stiffen up, and you'll see what happens. So this is on low right now, and I'm going to turn it up to all the way high. is it. This is what you're looking for. This is called a firm peak. This is completely firm. It's got a lot of air in it, but you can see that it's holding its shape completely. It's not folding down at all, so this is what you're looking for, the firm peak of the egg white. All right, so with this firm peak, you're going to take 2 tablespoons and mix it in there with your tuna. So there's 1 spoonful, and then there's the other, and keep this to the side because we're going to use it. All right, now here I'm gonna let all the liquid and tuna and egg white go to the bottom, and I'm gonna blend it up. Tiny bit of stuff in here, so what I'm going to do is open it, mix it up, make sure all the solid pieces can get blended, and then I'm going to blend it one more time. So I'll just use my little spoon here, and see there's some solid pieces still, but what I want is completely liquid, so I'm going to blend it again, and it should get completely liquid this time. I'm just going to let everything shake down to the bottom. Okay. Let it all shake down there. Here we go. All right, here we go. Do it. Oops. Okay, so basically this is what you're looking for, the super creamy looking consistency here. It's completely liquefied. Okay, so next thing what you're gonna do is just add it to your egg white, and I need to go grab my spatula so that I can mix these together. Okay, so I got my spatula, and what I have here is the egg whites to a firm, stiff peak, and then the tuna. And I'm just going to incorporate them into each other, and I'm trying to keep as much air in the egg whites as possible, so you're not going to mix it up too much, but definitely make sure it's completely incorporated, but keep as much puffiness in the egg white as you can. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, there it's all mixed together. And just scrape the sides down. And then what we're gonna do next is transfer this into a plastic bag so that we can bake it. And from the plastic bag, we're going to cut a hole in the corner and squirt it to make a little dots for the cats. So if you have like one of those pastry things for the icing, you could use that, but this works just as well. So I'm going to empty it all into this bag here. Let me use my spatula to get the rest in here. Open up my bag and put it all in there. Okay, there we go. And it smells very tuna-y. Okay, so it's all the way in the bag, and then I'm gonna just seal the bag. And at one of the corners, I'm gonna cut a tiny, tiny hole. So just about that size. It's gonna be really small, smaller than you even think you need. And there you go. Now you have your own piping tool. Okay, so all you need is a baking sheet. You can put foil down, or if you have parchment paper, you can use parchment paper too. And I'm going to, I have it here, I'm gonna squeeze out the cat treats and make some cute little dots for the cats. And this is fine how close together they are, and how much I showed you to make, that's enough to fill this whole baking sheet filled with treats. And remember that they are a lot of them, but they are treats, so you still shouldn't substitute them for cat food. Should still be feeding your cats and dogs their regular food and just using the treats to reward your pets for good behavior and to show them that you love them. Alright, so I'm going to make one more row, and then I'll show you guys what they look like. So to bake these, you're going to heat your oven at 330 degrees and then cook them for about 20 minutes. Okay? All right. So once they're out of the oven, they're gonna still smell like tuna, but they're gonna look like this. Okay? And cats are going to go crazy for these things. They're delicious. And everything I showed you, you saw the ingredients, so even if you wanted to try it, you could. I tried them both and they're good. Here, let me try one now. I call them tuna chips. But yeah, they're good. You can eat them. It's just tuna and egg whites, and it's cooked, so it's fine. So I want another one. Your cats will love eating these, and you can store them in an airtight jar, and they should last you a couple weeks. All right. So now I have a special guest to show you guys. Her name is Primrose. She is a Chihuahua, and she was saved from a seizure where we rescued those pigs and parakeets and 3 small dogs along with them. So let's go meet her. There she is. She's our cute little girl, and she was snacking on some of our treats, and I let her lick the peanut butter spoon earlier. There you go. All right, so Primrose is a very cute little girl. She is about 10 years old, but she, as you guys know from the Chihuahua episode, they can live up to 20 years. So she still has a lot of life left in her. And so Ashley is here to talk to us today about approaching animals and how to pet animals for the first time when you meet them.
Yes, so especially with animals like Primrose. So Primrose came from an animal crimes case. We want to be extra sensitive with them, especially when we're meeting them for the first time. You have to realize animals from animal crime victim cases are pretty much the equivalent of PTSD victims for people. So I always approach side facing. I never go straight in the face of an animal. This doesn't matter if it's a dog, a cat, a mini mammal. Always approach side facing. It's much less intimidating for the animal. You also, if you're getting the correct body language. Now, if the animal seems super fearful, potentially aggressive, shaking out of control, you don't want to do this. But if you feel like it's safe, then go ahead. You always want to let the animal kind of check you out first, get your smell, and go from there. As you can see, Primrose and I have already built our relationship, and she just wants all the belly rubs.
Should you, when you're meeting an animal for the first time, should you let them smell your hand?
Yes. Like I said, though, you want to be careful. If they seem too fearful, just give them their space and wait till they've calmed down a lot more. You also want to approach, you never want to approach super fast and never super loud. All of those things are really intimidating for animals and are actually signs of predatory animals. So keep in mind, human interactions and animal interactions are different. So just know the difference,
And what are ways you can tell that a dog or a cat wants to be pet?
So some of the ways that dogs and cats show that they want to be pet are kind of obvious. They'll approach you, they'll be real talkative. Some animals have no problem with this at all.
Like Primrose.
Like Primrose, yeah. But this is a lot different. When I first met Primrose, she wouldn't let me touch her. She was extremely fearful. She would shake nonstop. I just gave Primrose time. I sat in her kennel with her. I approached her side facing. I didn't make any loud noises. And eventually I got the head bow. So the head bow is, between cats and dogs, it's always the same. It's basically an invitation to pet. They'll do a slight bow, and that's an invitation for one little pet, and then they'll feel out, maybe if they want another, then they will ask for it.
So cute.
But she is a very well socialized girl now. She's up for adoption. So sweet. She is a 10-year-old Chihuahua, but Chihuahuas can live up to 20, 21, 22 years. So she's got a lot of life left in her, and she is just too adorable.
Yeah, she's so cute.
She's a total lap baby. She just wants all the belly rubs.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you enjoyed this treat making lesson, and hopefully you guys can make some fun treats for your pets. And we look forward to the next episode with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.